How's it going, everyone? Doc here with Eyes Wide Shot Gaming, and today we are going to break down a powerful build that flails around the Mirage melee weapon. Stick around. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date on all of your Remnant 2 news, info, builds, and breakdowns, as well as many other games. We are so close on our endeavor to 1,000 subscribers. Why not join us today? Let's jump right into our build by starting off with the primary archetype, which is Challenger. With the damage per close quarters, we will be increasing a 35% boost to all of our damage against enemies within 10 meters, as well as an increase to critical chance by 5%. Since we are constantly right up in the enemy's face with our melee attacks, we will always get that full 35% damage boost. Our team perk, Intimidating Presence, gives us a solid damage reduction from enemies within 15 meters, allowing us not to sweat being swarmed. With the Challenger archetype, we are running the Juggernaut skill, mostly for the 3 stacks of Bulwark and a 15% increase to our melee speed. This also increases our melee damage by 50%, which all lasts for over 32 seconds. Our secondary archetype is Alchemist, again increasing all damage we do by 25%, as well as increasing our critical chance by 5% with the damage perk Liquid Courage. For our skill with this archetype, we are using Vile Frenzy Dust, which creates a mysterious vapor cloud that lasts 13 seconds and applies Frenzied. With Frenzied, we get an increase to our fire rate, reload speed, and melee speed by 20%, as well as a buff to movement speed by 15% for 19.5 seconds. Our main focus revolving around the melee speed increase only. Let's take a look at our trinkets and see what we have going on. Our amulet is the Matriarch's Insignia. The only reason for this choice is the huge increase to melee damage by 35%. We do also get 10 stamina restored with every successful melee attack, but with our first ring, that becomes completely obsolete. And our first ring is the Bisected Ring. Although we do receive 15% more damage from all sources, we do gain infinite stamina, allowing us to really unleash our Mirage's true potential. The second ring we have on is the Dying Ember. This allows us to gain 6% of base melee damage dealt as lifesteal, giving us a chance to constantly heal from our damage output. The third ring is Fey Warrior Ring, another increase to our melee damage by an additional 15%. And our final ring is the Fey Bruiser Ring. Just for more survivability when dealing melee damage, this ring grants 2 stacks of Bulwark for 15 seconds. Let's dive right into our weaponry, starting out with the secondary weapon. We went with the Rupture Cannon, but this can be changed for any other weapon as long as it has an open mod slot. Our focus being having the mod Heatwave on our weapon, which activates a 15-meter aura of sweltering heat, causing enemies inside the aura for 3 seconds to begin burning for 937 damage over 5 seconds. Along with it, we are using the Spirit Healer Mutator, which regenerates 2% health over 10 seconds for every 50 mod power spent. Our primary ranged weapon is the Sparkfire Shotgun. Again, this can be swapped with any weapon as long as we have a mod slot available to put on Ring of Spears. This mod calls forth 7 Phantom Spears to encircle the wielder for 32.5 seconds, dealing up to 131 damage per second to nearby enemies. We aren't ever going to be throwing the spears or recalling them. With this mod, the mutator we have equipped is failsafe for the additional 25% mod damage. Finally, we get to the bread and butter of this build, the Mirage melee weapon. Solid damage, but when maintaining an overhead charged melee, forms a 5-meter sand cyclone dealing 105 damage per second and pulls enemies towards us. Each cyclone hit applies exposed, allowing us to deal an extra 15% more damage. For our mutator, we are running Shocker, which empowers the weapon after 3 hits or 3 overhead swings, which afterwards strikes all enemies within 7 meters with 375 shock damage. This shock damage at level 10 applies overloaded, dealing 469 shock damage every 5 seconds. For our Relic Heart, we went with the Profane Heart for its innate 3% lifesteal bonus. On the Relic Heart, we have equipped melee damage, melee critical chance, and melee critical damage. On the right hand side, you can see our traits, main focus being on Leech, Siphoner, and Chakra. Now that we have the skeleton of the build, let's see how it all works together. So as you can see, we come in, engage our skills, activate both our mods, and start spinning our flail overhead, never losing stamina and constantly unleashing exposed, shock, and burn damage, all the while life-stealing. I hope you've all enjoyed this build. Don't forget to comment down below if you know how we can make this build even better. And as always, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and until next time, so long.